Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Vong, Technical Software Specialist here at Graitec. Thank you for joining me at today's 15 at 15 session, where we'll dive into creating excellent startup views in Revit. So in today's session, we're going to look at a product called Ideate Sticky, and it's a tool that allows us to link in non-BIM documents straight into Revit. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and we will be happy to assist. So Ideate Sticky allows us to work with Excel, PDF, or Word documents in their native formats. It allows us to link non-BIM data into Revit for HD quality resolution. So we all know that BIM data is basically organized, smart, 3D linked information about a building. So when it comes to non-BIM data, that means any kind of construction or building related information that is not part of the building information modeling system. So basically anything not inside a 3D data rich environment is considered non-BIM. So non-BIM data could be Excel-based schedules, photos of a site, equipment manuals, hand-drawn sketches, material samples. Non-BIM data could also include manufacturing data, code lists, code matrix, general notes, and hundreds of other documents that may be needed to be displayed into in Excel and integrated into Revit. So why do we want to integrate Excel into Revit? So here in this slide, I have 3 reasons. The first point is to do with keeping data updated. So when you have things like project schedules or calculations in Excel that often change, adding them into Revit as a title block lets you see updates right away without having to create them again. And then the second point is to do with the efficiency in workflow, saving time and avoiding mistakes. So a lot of important information like equipment lists, budgets or timelines is easier to manage in Excel. And by linking Excel to Revit, you save time and keep everything consistent in both platforms. The third reason is that Excel gives you more options for how your information looks and is organized. Instead of struggling to recreate the complicated layouts in Revit, you can just bring the look from Excel into Revit and keep the custom graphics you want. So in the next slide, we're going to look at a video demo showcasing Ideate Sticky. Okay, so I'm here in Revit and I'm opening the Ideate Sticky command here, and I'm just going to bring in an Excel file first. Okay, so I'm just going to go with the first worksheet. There's 2 worksheets in this document, but let's see what's on the overview worksheet. Okay, so I've created the sticky, and this is the first tab, or the first worksheet. Okay, so it's just a cover page of a transmittals report. Okay, so I'll delete that one, and now let's bring it in again, but let's see what's on the details worksheet. And as you can see, it's the transmittals report in its entirety. But let's say we just want a section of this schedule. So we can bring in specific regions from our Excel document. So it doesn't have to be the full list. So let's bring it in again, but this time go with details worksheet, but instead of the print area, we're going to go to the region called up to 24, which is the 24th row. So I'll bring that in, and now you can see it's kept the header and it's gone up to row 24. So just position this nicely on the title block here, and I think I will create another version, but from row 25 to 48. So let's hop over to the next sheet here. Okay, and go to Ideate Sticky. So that was the first link I brought in, and now let's bring in another. Well, it's the same Excel file, but we're going to create a sticky for rows 25 up to 48 as defined by our Excel region. Okay, so it's brought it in now. Excellent. And what I'm going to do is just going to use Ideate Align to align the schedule on transmittals 2 to the same coordinates as transmittals 1, so it's consistent. And let's have a look at the original report we linked in. So here on the details worksheet, okay, this is the first worksheet we brought in, the overview, and now this is the second one. And you can see up here, this is how I control the different regions in Excel. So this is the webinar region. And then what you can do is you can name specific regions you want to target. So up to 24 targets the first row up to the 24th, and then up to 48, is targeting the 25th to the 48th row. And then if we go to page layout and then go to page setup and sheets, we can tell Excel to repeat the rows at the top, which kind of specifies the headers to be kept. So that way, when we bring it into Revit, the second sticky will still have the headers. Okay, so let's go to another sheet now and look at how we can bring in images in Ideate Sticky. Okay, so this tab here lets us bring in Word, PDF, and images. Okay, so let's start with a Word document. Okay, so I can specify which pages I want to bring in. Let's say page 6, and we can set the transparency. Okay, looks good. And while I'm here, I can create a few more stickies. So let's bring in a PDF. And I can bring in all of the sheets at once. Okay, so it's brought in the 3 sheets in that PDF. And let's bring in one more. So we can bring in an Excel as an image as well. So let's bring in the first worksheet of that Excel. Okay, and click close. And here we are. These are all of the images I brought in. So this was the PDF, which is our training agenda for Autodesk Docs in Graitec. And this is the Word document, and you can see it's added transparency. Just to demonstrate that, I can move it over the PDF sticky and set it to foreground. Okay, so you can see how transparency works there. Okay, and this is my Excel file converted into an image. Okay, so it's very straightforward and easy to use here. Okay, just move that over. And another thing we can do is we can set it to auto update. So whenever Revit opens up, it can search for the link and then auto update those stickies as an option. Okay, so that's Ideate Sticky. So just to summarize our session here today, Ideate Sticky is a Revit tool that allows us to effortlessly live link Word, Excel, and PDFs into Revit. We can retain our existing workflows created in Excel and live link them with automated updates. We can eliminate manual creation of schedules in Revit, thereby reducing liability and saving time. And we can also republish data across projects without having to open Revit. Right, so this concludes our session for today. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we will be happy to assist. If we didn't get to answer any of your questions, please reach out to us at support@ideatesoftware.com. And this session is recorded and will be available online on our YouTube channel under 15 at 15 recordings playlist. Thank you and goodbye.